Right then. So I think we discussed this. Martin, you wrapped it up nicely as well. We did start with what the LNRSs don't do. I think it's always good to make that clear, but you're right, it is a negative. But I think, and working across all of the sectors, we've had representation at a very senior level across all the sectors. The feeling behind this is extremely positive. We've been creating partnerships and working with organisations we haven't worked with before, and we've got a really good culture set. We are, listening and learning from each other. We're trying to seek out that common ground. The key stakeholder groups have gone away now, and they're providing me their organisational priorities, what proposed measures they'd like to see. We'll create this long list to help us make good informed decisions as a collective, things that we know that will work locally, that will help nature, and that people want to get behind. And we're creating opportunities for our partners to learn from each other, to access resources from each other, while also making space for nature. So those key stakeholder groups you can see on the screen there, they are the LNRS partnership. We're not forgetting our residents. I know we have our residents in there. I thought we'd missed them off briefly, but everybody has a say in forming this strategy, and that's why I think it'll be successful. We're not dictating it. We're not sat just crunching numbers and writing a strategy. Everybody's going to be able to feed into these decisions. So sorry, I don't like this slide, but it's just to sort of bring it to life. The strategic reference group, the key partner groups, the working groups are developing and bringing together all the information. So we will have a huge list of all of the overarching priorities for those big organisations and the small community groups as well. So we'll understand what everybody's priorities are for helping nature and for delivering their day-to-day. We'll also have a list of proposed measures, and we'll be able to consult on these when we take them out in May and June and agree what measures do people actually want to do, what measures are people incentivized to do, what's most likely to be delivered, and what's achievable for us. We might be able to prioritize a list of measures that we think will have the greatest environmental benefit, but if landowners, major landowners and other groups don't want to take those measures up, the strategy will never be delivered. So we'll be agreeing what is actually going to be achieved. We'll also be consulting on our priority species and habitats and how that might impact the priority areas, and make sure everybody's aligned with that. And then we have our area description, which is the story behind this. It's our narrative, making sure we're happy with the content and the language that we're using, and it's something we can get behind. There'll be a public facing strategy, and there'll be sort of a more detailed strategy for the planners to use, but we'll have something with nice infographics, easy to get out to the public, make sense of the strategy. So from March to April, we are doing our view seeking engagement, so like what we're doing today. The surveys are now live, and you'll get a link to the stakeholder survey. Resident survey is also going live very soon, or the public survey, not resident survey. So we'll have to please share them far and wide if you can, complete them yourselves. That would be fantastic. And then May, June, July, we'll be doing the focused engagement, lots of workshops, getting out to all of the districts, Rutland, in the city, not just to the key stakeholder groups. We'll be looking for those hard to reach groups. We want to hear from everybody, give everybody the opportunity to feed into this. It's not just about environmental benefits. We also want the health and well-being that nature brings to people. So providing access to nature is going to be really, really important as well. So yeah, just touching on these, we've done our stakeholder briefings. We've met with the farmers, landowners, businesses 3 times now. You are our 4th group for the introduction. We're meeting with the specialist public sector tomorrow, and then a couple of weeks after Easter, all the town and parish councils will wrap up our introductory meetings for the LNRS. The stakeholder surveys are out. The public survey is going out. George, you might want to fill us in on that. We will send this out afterwards. I'm going to leave this up for 10 seconds. If you wanted to take a screenshot, use your camera phone to get access to the survey now. So I'll just leave it there for a second, and then I'll
put the link in the chat as well, Paul.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Thank you. I'll move on from that. So timeline. So we have our local habitat map, baseline map, and we're just looking for an interactive solution. We've seen some great maps out there, so we're hoping to have something sorted soon, which we can engage with all of the residents and people who live and work in our area. We aim to have those areas of importance, so those the areas where we're going to be proposing action for nature mapped by the end of June, going into July. So even though the strategy won't be published till the following July because of its lengthy approval process, you will already know by this summer where those strategic areas are going to be. And that will help you plan. That will give you 12 months advance notice of how to plan for that. Over the next few months, we'll be consulting on our area description. It's about the strategy area, its biodiversity, and what the opportunities for recovering or enhancing biodiversity could be. And again, through May and June, we'll be looking at our shortlist priority species and priority habitats, how that could factor into where you live or work. And we'll have our long list of agreed priorities, which should align with other sector priorities and deliver the environmental benefits we're aiming to get. So in July, this will all be wrapped up. We'll be able to show you what those proposed measures are and those priority areas are, and then it will go to its approval process. Quite a lengthy one, but so it's going through Leicestershire County Council, Leicester City, and all of the districts and Rutland through from September the 30th through till Christmas. It will then get everybody gets another opportunity to consult on the strategy during an 8-week public consultation in January and February. We will hand the final strategy back to the supporting authorities in March, but we have local elections, so some of the political approval processes are delayed. But the final strategy, all being well, will be signed off on the 2nd of July 2025, handed to the Secretary of State, ready for their approval to publish, and then it will become part of our lives. So thank you all for listening.